All right, good evening, everyone. It's 6 p.m. Welcome to our council meeting for November 4th, 2020. Notice that this meeting has been duly advertised in compliance with the Open Public Meeting Law. Please be advised that this meeting is being audio recorded for possible later playback. Everyone, please rise to the flag salute. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Councilman DiDomenico.
Here.
Councilwoman Hess.
Here.
Councilman Jackson.
Here.
Councilwoman Sinnen.
Here.
Councilman Chipoli.
Present.
President Randolph Sharp.
Here.
Mayor.
Here. Approval of minutes. Council meeting session October 14th, 2020, and council meeting October 28th, 2020. Entertain a motion, please.
So moved.
And a second, please.
Second. Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilman DiDomenico.
Yes.
Councilwoman Hess.
Yes.
Councilman Jackson.
Yes.
Councilwoman Sinnen.
Yes.
Councilman Chipoli.
Yes.
President Randolph Sharp.
That's it.
Entertain a motion to pay the bills, please.
Make a motion that the bills have been properly audited and signed and approved for payment.
Second, please.
Second.
Any questions? Roll call, please.
Councilman DiDomenico.
Yes. Yes.
Councilwoman Hess.
Yes.
Councilman Jackson.
Yes.
Councilwoman Sinnen.
Yes.
Councilman Chipoli.
Yes.
President Randolph Sharp.
Yes.
Following reports have been filed and are available in their respective office for review and will be included in the minutes. The tax collector's report for September, the sewer report for September, and the treasurer's report. First up, reading ordinance 2020-19, Councilor.
Ordinance of the Borough of Lindenwold, County of Camden, State of New Jersey, approving and authorizing the execution of a financial agreement with a long-term tax exemption and pilot agreement between the Borough of Lindenwold and AW Urban Renewal LLC.
Entertain a motion, please.
I'll make a motion to approve ordinance 2020-19.
On first reading,
First reading.
according, published according to law. The ordinance. Sorry.
Hold on, I'm having a problem with my phone. Published according to law, posted in the Borough Hall, and the second reading being held at our next regular schedule.
Thank you. And a second, please.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilman DiDomenico.
No.
Councilwoman Hess.
Yes.
Councilman Jackson.
Yes.
Councilwoman Sinnen.
Yes.
Councilman Chipoli.
Yes.
President Randolph Sharp.
Yes.
Consent agenda. The items listed below are considered routine by the Borough of Lindenwold and will be enacted upon by one motion. There will be no formal discussions of these items. If discussion is desired, these items will be removed from the consent agenda and will be considered separately. Entertain a motion for Resolution 2020-183 through 185, please.
Make a motion for resolution agenda items 2020-183 through 185.
And a second, please.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilman DiDomenico.
Yes.
Councilwoman Hess.
Yes.
Councilman Jackson.
Yes.
Councilwoman Sinnen.
Yes.
Councilman Chipoli.
Yes.
President Randolph Sharp.
Yes.
At this time, I'd like to open up the council. If anyone from council will have anything they'd like to speak about, please state so now.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Jeff.
Go ahead, Joe.
Or Cheryl, who do you want?
I just want to congratulate Linda and Sandy, and it was a pleasure to having them on council and working with them, and congratulations on your election last night, and also to the rest of the council. Thank you for holding down for the last 2 meetings for me. I've been involved in the election process in Camden County. I wasn't able to attend the meeting, so I thank everybody that covered for me and made the motions and everything else. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Jeff.
Thank you, Mr. I would also like to congratulate Sandy and Linda. I have the monthly report, partial report for the Lindenwold Police Department for the month of October 2020. Total calls and searches are 2279, traffic accidents 50, community policing 208, traffic enforcement and stops 229, and there is 48 investigations in the Detective Bureau. Criminal complaints issued by officers, traffic summonses issued by officers, criminal complaints issued by citizens, and traffic summonses issued by citizens. We don't have the numbers that will be in next week. That's all I have.
Thank you. Anyone else from council?
Yeah, this is Sandy. Just thanks everyone for congratulating Linda and I. For the health report, we all know that the numbers are going up. The mayor gives us the numbers at every meeting. The governor has asked the residents not to travel. Also, there's cold flu coming up. We're going to have cold flu and the coronavirus, and you're going to have to figure out what you have. You're going to have to talk to your doctor. If you feel you might have the flu or coronavirus, just call ahead, let them know you're coming in, and they'll set it up so you come in and keep everybody safe. Also, one last thing, more of an FYI, Camden County is offering grants to residents for rental assistance. It's for the period of April 2020 to September 2020 with a max of $4,000. You had to have your lease before March 1st, 2020. Your landlord must waive the fees and penalties. Applications can be found at camdencounty.com for more information. Thank you. That's all I have, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Councilman Jackson here. Again, I want to congratulate Cindy and Linda also. It's been great working with you. Looking forward to working with you again.
Who's Cindy?
As far as construction and code enforcement, I have for the month of October 89 violations written, and that's all I have.
Thank you. Go ahead, Linda. I'm sorry.
I just want to say thank you to everyone for the election, and Cindy and I are going to do our best and helping our town. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Once again, I'd like to congratulate Linda and Sandy as well. You guys do a great job. I'm glad to see you back on council. All right, for in 1 week's time, I can't stress this enough to everybody, please. Wear your masks, wash your hands, stay 6 feet away from each other. In 1 week's time, we have gone up 22 more cases in 1 week's time. We went from 646 to 668, and we had one more death of a 50-year-old person from coronavirus. I've been working for this past week with my mother, and it's a serious, very serious item. Please, 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 please be safe and be careful. All right, at this time, I'd like to open the meeting to the public. For anyone from the public wishing to speak, please state your name and address for the record, and try to keep it 5 minutes, please.
Diane here, 637 Fifth Avenue. I just have a question. As you elected officials, there's times when we ask these questions, and you just refuse to answer them, and just push us off to the side and say, meeting is done. Why is it we cannot always get a full answer to something pending?
I may not have the answer to what you're asking at this time, and I don't. That's the only answer I can tell you.
No, never say that. It's something that you don't want to be bothered with, you don't want to hear about, you just push it aside. It happens all the time.
Well, if you're here to criticize me, I'll take any criticism. But unfortunately, I do my best to answer every question I can. And your questions, I've always answered every one of your questions.
No, you're trying to piss me off.
No, I'm sorry. I take the differ with you. Yeah, I got your resume. Anyone else in the public wishing to speak?
Trevor Shaw, corner of North Ross and Wilson. Mr. Mayor, have you had a chance to review any of the questions, the 3 questions I asked during the last meeting to provide an answer for those.
Trevor, I'm sorry, I've only had a week to do this, and I've been busy with my personal issues right now with my mother, and I haven't had time to review any of that information. So I'm sorry, I haven't got back to you.
Not a problem, sir. It's totally fair and totally understandable. I do have 3 more questions, though, that I'm going to throw at you tonight, and we can pick up during the next meeting. Unless you're able to answer any of them tonight, that would be great. The first one involves the pilot program for the Arborwood. What's the projected revenue loss to taxpayers created by this pilot program?
There is no projected revenue loss to the taxpayers of the community. The community at this time is going to be making money.
Well, if they're going to be receiving a long-term tax exemption, does that not mean that they're not going to be paying property taxes on the property?
Until the pilot program is finished and been done all through with the tax office, I can't really make any statements about the pilot program. I don't have any final numbers on any of that stuff.
Will you have the final numbers prior to it being adopted?
Probably will, yes.
I mean, Mayor, I think we can say that prior to this, it's been operating at a loss where it's been costing this town money. So right now, it looks forward to that it's not going to cost us the money that we had to pay. I think we can safely say that.
And that's understood, Mr. Jackson. I guess ultimately the distinction in the question becomes a shift of the onus of responsibility from the developer to the taxpayers of Lindenwold for the cleanup of Arborwood. In other words, taxpayers didn't create the problem, but in a sense, if you're going to be creating a pilot program to exempt the owners from paying taxes, then the rest of the taxpayers are going to be absorbing, say, the cost.
They're not exempt from paying taxes. Trevor, they're not going to be exempt from paying taxes. And maybe the next council meeting we can ask our tax assessor to come on board and answer some of these questions for you. He would be the proper person to address these questions too. He's been in our meetings with us, but they're not exempt from paying taxes.
Okay, so then why would the words be used in the 3rd line with a long-term tax exemption?
In any of these big projects like that, there's tax exemption to these developers. And again, I think
for publicly held property, yes, but for private property, it's not necessarily customary.
Not true. So again, I think maybe we should invite Mr. Reyes to our next meeting, and he can answer any questions that you have.
Okay, if you don't know the amount of the tax exemption, can you tell me the term of the agreement?
The term of the pilot agreement is for 20 years with 2 5-year extensions at the end of 20 years at the option of the borough for which to extend.
Okay, and it's my assumption that during this projected 20/30 year period, there would be no taxes collected on this property.
That's incorrect.
Right.
Okay, it'd be great if you guys could provide an outline for that, because under the terms and language in this, it certainly seems like you're awarding a long-term extension, but that's not how you're explaining it.
Trevor,
Yes.
meeting, but we have worked for years trying to clean up this corridor at Lindenwold. You know?
No doubt, and we look forward to it being cleaned up.
Well, I hope so, because it doesn't sound like that right now in your conversation. It doesn't sound like you're looking forward to it being cleaned up. A lot of work is done here.
A lot of people are looking forward to it being cleaned up. A lot of people have been paying for the cost of that area for a long time.
Trevor, will you let us
It would just be
What are you
nice,
trying to undo?
and it would be nice if you would outline the details of these things prior to their adoption, so that we would be clear. I mean, there's very little information, if any information, coming out from you guys as to what exactly is going on with Arborwood. So we're not against the program, we're not against the plan, we're certainly not against improving that area, but it would be nice to know the details of how it's being done, that's all.
Okay, well,
Okay, well, it doesn't sound like that sometimes.
Why don't I have you, Ms. Sharp? For the last 3 years, you've been promising to update our taxpayer-funded student television station, 192, to be a more up-to-date, useful communication platform for our entire...
With the taxpayer, Trevor. Okay, so understand the program. We've been working with the school. The school is shut down now for COVID. There's nothing I can do right now about 192 until we come out of the COVID season. We've been trying to get a meeting with the school. COVID came. It's shut down now. So, there's nothing...
We've been discussing updating channel 192 for 3 years, Ms. Sharp. Has nothing to do with COVID. It could have been done long before. Matter of fact, this channel could have been utilized to communicate with residents about COVID and what to do and how to avoid. There's antiquated information on that television station. Antiquated.
5 years to get that station operated in this town. Again,
Right, but a lot of the content on it is 5 years old, man.
Okay, all right, Trevor.
anyone else from the public wishing to speak?
When it comes to paying the stock staff
Sir,
to
you've already had your
maintain the library, do we divide that total
Sir,
cost
you've already had your
between
fund.
the able-bodied residents in Lindenwold, or do we make the handicapped people pay the same amount for a building they can't access?
Sir, those with disabilities, you don't call them handicapped people.
Okay, well, given the fact that the building is not accessible by disabled individuals, how does that shake out?
That's why we pay Camden County the money we pay them for them to go there.
I see.
The building has been grandfathered in for years.
I see. Okay. I guess I'll wait for the next meeting or possibly an email in between for some of these other questions.
You just asked the same exact questions.
I'm sorry, sir?
You just asked the same exact questions. All right, thank you, everyone. I mean, that's your 5 minutes. Anyone else in the public wishing to speak? Okay, hearing none, entertain a motion for adjournment, please.
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
All in favor? Motion carried. Thank you, everyone. Have a good evening.
Good night.
Bye.